Every year in Nigeria, over 1,000 cases are diagnosed. In the world today, it's one of the top 10 causes of death. It is a seriously infectious bacterial disease. That is, if someone near you has it and coughs, he or she puts all those around them in danger. But do not be afraid. According to Constance Motley, when she was in high school, she won an award for writing an essay on tuberculosis. And she says by the time she was done, she actually began to think that she had tuberculosis. There's no time where illness is easy. It's something that if we can prevent it, it's in our best health interest to do so. Our topic, our focal point on wellness and living today is tuberculosis. My name is Thelma Obazi and I warmly welcome you. As doctors and researchers continue to work, they continue to renew and invigorate the message of hope and wellness. They say if you take your medication accurately and consistently, you can and most probably will get well. But before we get to meet our doctor, let's go out and talk with you. Do you know anyone that's ever had TB? Have you had it yourself? Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. There ought not to be stigma attached. It's an ailment, and according to doctors, especially the one we'll be talking to on the program today, there is cure if you take your medication consistently and accurately. But first, let's hear what you have to say. We're going out to the streets.
I know that tuberculosis have been on the rise in recent times. Probably because of the case of HIV, because I've been made to understand that it's one of the opportunistic sicknesses that comes set in when somebody is living with HIV.
It's very severe in the sense that somebody that contacts it, you can easily die, because I know in the hospital, those that suffer tuberculosis, they have their own separate where they keep them so that another person cannot contact it.
To me, it's a dry cough and a very severe illness. That's all I know about it.
When it's left untreated or when it's allowed to take its natural course, it's severe and can lead to death.
Like I say, it's an infection of the lungs. It's a serious disease because can be transmitted from one human to another. And it's human to human. From the air, it's gotten from the air. And it is very contagious and very deadly too.
Men get tuberculosis the most because men are subjected to different viral and bacterial immune system in terms of what they inhale into their body system, in terms of smoking and some other aspect of it. So they are more in danger to tuberculosis than women. I
guess the women have tendency to get tuberculosis more than the men because their natural living and natural productive system have to do with blood. So those things have to do. Sometimes they do blood and decrease their immunity. When your immunity is reduced, you have tendency to catch tuberculosis like that.
It's like the men has it more.
I think it's the men that gets it the most, going from past experience. But the most important thing is that I think in Nigeria, the treatment of TB tuberculosis is free of charge. When you go to public hospitals.
For instance, if you are sitting with someone who has it, maybe you enter a vehicle and then you did not take precautions and someone besides you cough, you could contact tuberculosis.
When you are together with somebody that get the tuberculosis, so when the odors, germ, I think it's easily for you to contact it. And then when you are eating with tuberculosis, it's easily to get it. And when you drink water together in one cup with him, it's also you can contact tuberculosis.
It is an airborne disease. Airborne in the sense that the causative organism comes out from the sputum produced by the patient. If somebody coughs, maybe without covering his or her mouth, those things coming out may contain the TB-causing organisms, and if another person breathe in, it can be affected.
I think I know of one of my village persons sometime that suffered of it, of course. I think at that period she was quarantined for a long time. She was in the hospital, she was placed in a hospital, and I think she didn't survive. I know it's treatable if it's found out on time, but I think her own has gone beyond the times of treatment.
I've seen quite a number who has tuberculosis, and the way they treat it is by, first of all, seeking for medical attention. Yeah, this is very, very key, because most people will exploit other traditional means, and during the course of those means, the disease is developing and the cure is not actually being effected, so it's worsening, it's advancing. So most time when they come to the hospital, it's already in advanced stage. Right in the hospital, there are anti-tuberculosis medications, drugs, that are very effective. You take it and within a reasonable time, you achieve cure.
The only advice I have is that whenever you see that you're coughing, don't just treat it as normal cough. You consult the doctor first before going for treatment, because we Nigerians, we mostly prefer self-medication, which is not advisable. You go to the doctors will see what is going on, and then they will be the one to know how to treat you, not you treating yourself.
When you prevent ailments and disease, you put yourself in a good place. You are well, you can be there for your family and friends, and you can be productive. You can set goals and objectives, and you can strive every day. Increase your pace to ensure that you achieve what you set out to achieve. Are you ignoring chronic cough? Do you have blood in your sputum? Do you have a consistent fever? Are you shedding weight at an alarming rate? It is cause for worry, but perhaps you need to seek medical attention. What you need is a cure, and to get the cure and where to access it, you need information, and we're bringing you just that.
As with most ailments, it requires a medical diagnosis facilitated by laboratory test or imaging. It is an infectious disease that usually affects the lungs and is said to be the second biggest killer globally. In 2015, 1.8 million people died from the disease, with 10.4 million falling ill. Tuberculosis can be traced to the 18th and 19th centuries, when a tuberculosis epidemic rampaged throughout Europe and North America, before the German microbiologist Robert Koch discovered the microbial causes of tuberculosis in 1882. Following Koch's discovery, the development of vaccines and effective drug treatment led to the belief that the disease was almost defeated. Indeed, at one point, the United Nations predicted that tuberculosis would be eliminated worldwide by 2025. However, in the mid-1980s, tuberculosis cases began to rise worldwide, so much so that in 1993, the World Health Organization declared that tuberculosis was a global emergency, the very first time that a disease had been labeled as such. Doctors make a clear distinction between two kinds of tuberculosis infection, latent and active. With latent tuberculosis, the bacteria remains in the body in an inactive state. They cause no symptoms and are not contagious, but they can become active. Active tuberculosis. The bacteria do not cause symptoms and can be transmitted to others. Also worthy of mention is that 1/3 of the world's population is believed to have latent tuberculosis. In Nigeria, over 100,000 cases of tuberculosis are diagnosed annually. The majority of tuberculosis cases can be cured when the right medication is available and administered correctly.
Some people are living with ailments and they are in hiding because they don't have information. They don't know where to access treatment. They don't have friends. They are ashamed or afraid to tell their family. Perhaps because they feel that someone will blame them. Whatever they may think will not be the cure for what ails you. And the longer you live in silence, the more detrimental your situation will be. When it comes to ailments, the best person to talk with is the medical professional. Many of them are specialized in different areas of your care, for your treatment, for your well-being, for your wellness. Let's listen. We're going to learn something new today, and of course, as always, our hope and vigor will be with you.
Tuberculosis is a highly infectious disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and is usually spread by a person with active TB that coughs or sneezes in the environment for those that are vulnerable to pick it. It affects more of the lungs, but it can be found in other organs of the body, of which they are called extrapulmonary tuberculosis sites. For instance, the kidney, the brain, the bones, and every other part of the body, basically. It can affect everyone, but basically the tubercle has to be in a place where it can thrive. So more importantly, those that are at risk are those that health workers, people that dwell in overcrowded places, and people with immunosuppressive diseases. For instance, those that have cancer, diabetes, and HIV. It's commoner in them because their immunity is suppressed. So it just takes a person that sneezes or coughs to give it out, to produce the tubercle in the air, for which susceptible individuals carry it. Then a lot of people have it. It's been estimated that about 1/3 of the global population have come in contact with it and could be infected. But not everybody manifests the symptom, depending on the immunity. The patient may be asymptomatic, that is, he has no symptoms at all, or may come with cough of about 2 weeks or more duration, productive, it could be blood-stained, it could just be scanty sputum, it could also be come with fever, other constitutional symptoms such as fever, unexplainable weight loss, loss of appetite, basically anything. Good news is that it can be cured, but it needs to be identified early, and the treatment should be instituted early. There's a proposed time for intervention. Usually when these children are brought to the hospital and the cough is said to have lingered for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the onus is still on the professional to take adequate history. TB may be suggested, for instance, somebody that has had contact with someone with chronic illness, or even somebody known to be on treatment for TB. Those are indications for further evaluation of the child. After protracted cough and the diagnosis of TB is not established, the patient should still be put on broad-spectrum antibiotics. To prevent tuberculosis, the spread of tuberculosis, one needs to avoid overcrowded areas. And if need be, if one has to be there, it should be well aerated. For instance, we should ensure that the flow of air is balanced out. We should also ensure that health generally is adequate. It usually tuberculosis manifests in people that already have some sort of immunosuppressive illnesses. So if we take care of ourselves, for those that have diabetes, they have good control, they may come in contact with TB and actually not manifest it. If we have cough, we should also ensure to put in place cough etiquettes, such as using handkerchiefs to cover when we are coughing and ensure that we dispose them off properly. Tuberculosis is gotten from airdrop spread. So they are not things, it's not a disease that you can get from sharing things personally. So it's not for someone that already has the disease to be discriminated against in the home. But initially, before the commencement of treatment, the patients can be isolated as much as possible within the confines of the home and ensure that this patient gets treated. It's been said, and research has shown that once the patient is on treatment for about 2 to 3 weeks, he's usually not able to spread the disease anymore, even if he's still symptomatic, even if he's still coughing. The management is made easier when the identification of such a person that has the infection, if a patient is identified early. So to the general public, we should try and identify and also report such and present early to the hospitals. It makes the treatment more effective and there are strategies in place. A lot of things are subsidized in the treatment and the treatments are given freely. If a patient is suspected in an environment where children or other adults, even elderly patients are, one needs to actually isolate the person that is coughing and also allow free flow of air to avoid the spread of the disease. The chances of getting it from sharing stuff such as cup and cutleries is very slim. Is very slim. The main mode of transmission is through air droplets. The environment is conducive enough to carry the tubercle in the air and the patient inhales it.
Mother Teresa of blessed memory says that the biggest disease that worries people all over the world is not leprosy or tuberculosis. She says it's that feeling or that fear of being unwanted. Many a time in our life's journey, when people fall ill, many discard them. They are left on their own and many begin to feel unwanted. But in addition to that, the worst place to be is to be down, is to be ailing, and not to know where you can get help. That is why constantly on Wellness and Living, we bring you information that is well researched and documented, and to further you on your road to a permanent recovery, so that always you can be in a constant state of wellness and well-being. While you continue to read and learn more about tuberculosis, would you like to take time or tell your friends and family to work out with us? Most of the time, when people want to start a workout regimen, they prefer to take energy drinks or some drinks that athletes take, maybe like some drinks for sports. But dietitians and research has shown that it is best to have a light meal that contains either protein, carbohydrates, some fats and oil. More importantly, hydrate yourself with water before you start if you haven't already. So that's what we've done. We've had water and then a smoothie. It's wonderful. From fruits, your strawberry can get you a wonderful smoothie. Your orange can get you some juice. Add a little bit of healthy yogurt and you're ready for your workout. Everyone is talking about yoga. What about you? Have you taken yoga into consideration for your exercise regimen? That's what we're doing today. I would like for you to try it out with us. For many of us, it's the first time. So before we start out, let's do some warm-ups. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fold your knees and stretch your hands, palms face down as far as they can go. Okay, we're opening up with this. We'll do it for like, we'll count to 15, rest a bit, do another 15, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These are just examples of what you can do if you want to meditate. You ought to stay longer for each position. Use your palm as a balance for your body and stretch your head up. Stretch your upper body part as high as you can take it. Okay? Stretch, the emphasis of the stretch should be on the upper part of the body. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go to our third position. Use the left hand as a balance. Your feet together. And lift your right hand up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go back to the folding position. Okay. For 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we do this again. Your left palm as a balance, your feet together. The inside of your feet, your left and right feet together with your toes facing outwards. And then you stretch the other hand and you strike a balance and a pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, now let's do something standing. You can come outside of the mat now. So you lift your left leg and fold it. Let your feet be at the inside of your knee. When your foot is on your knee, it's helping you to balance. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's do with the other one. And this time we bring our hands and fold them like this, okay? But first from up, and then we do this. First we go upwards, and then we try to bring it down and fold in a meditative pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Then shake a bit, shake a bit, shake a bit. Okay. Hands forward and take this leg back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Take a rest with the other leg. Push your hands forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Edward Murrow opines that tuberculosis, starvation, fatigue, With all these assailing people, many lose the desire to live. But I tell you, as long as you have breath in you, never, ever give up on you. The beginning of the end is when you begin to give up on you, either in your mental state or in your physical state. We say a big thank you to all of you who take time out of your very busy schedule to be with us at our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. We thank you so much. Please continue to do so. Spend time with us. Tell us what ails you. Tell us what you want to know more about. Share your challenges. Let's see how we can build a support network so that everyone continues to grow their wellness state upwards. My name is Thelma Obazi. As always, it's been wonderful sharing with you. I'd love to do it again. But let's go work so we can be ready next week. For now, it's bye-bye.